That's you, and your name is?
Steve Wilson.
Steve Wilson from Oler Engineering, and you're going to talk to us about the McDonald's remodel. And you folks, I know you, but say your name.
King Walsh.
Yes, sir.
Jeffrey Stefanik.
And you represent
Sidney Chatterbox.
Sidney who?
Chatterbox.
Oh, okay.
It's a news forum.
Okay, cool. And the gentleman in the back.
Garrett George.
And you?
John Redemption, visitor.
Thank you. Okay, so I guess the first thing we'd like to do is just go through the site plan review application and have you give us a little presentation on what fine folks at McDonald's would like to do.
Sure.
Thank you.
Again, Steve Wilson, Oler Engineering, on behalf of McDonald's. So, McDonald's is looking to make quite a sizable investment in the property to include upgrades to both the site and renovations to the building. So the site, it's really about bringing the, in terms of some of the site work, it's bringing up the current accessibility guidelines. That includes reconstructing a lot of the sidewalks around the entrance to the building to bring those up to current accessibility guidelines, and reconstructing the ADA parking spaces along the front again to address those slope issues associated with them. At the same time, we're going to kind of reconfigure the dumpster corral here, provide a little bit more access and enclosure for it. And at the same time, McDonald's would like to add what's referred to as a side-by-side drive-through. It's not a dual drive-through. It simply provides two ordering points, which is traditionally the slowest point in the drive-through process is when people have to make the decisions, and it can slow the drive-through down. So there's two ordering windows here, so they can take alternate order points and the cars merge, and then there's a pay and then pickup window as well. And then we're going to reconfigure some of the patio area in the front here to get some more parking spaces closer to the building as well. So the site improvements are pretty good. In the building, I don't know if that's typically part of site plan review, but just to give you a sense of the changes.
Curious with your ADA improvements today, I'm not sure if they have them now, door openers, closers.
Yeah, the doors we brought up, they've got accessibility guidelines as well. The improvements to the outside of the building simply is the mansard roof is stripped off. If you've seen some of the newer McDonald's buildings, they have a little bit more simple designs associated with them. The building height does not get taller, the building footprint does not get bigger. You just simply extend the wall up and create a parapet around the building, so it's very simple and overall design from the mansard roof. The rest of the improvements to the building are bringing both the, redoing the dining room, the bathroom, again, both finishes, addressing accessibility issues for both, and the front counter. The kitchen stays pretty much as is. The restaurant will stay open throughout, although there'll probably be a period. It's about, maybe at the outside, about 60 days of construction. Maybe sometimes they can do it in 6 weeks. And there's probably a short period within there of about 3 weeks where they close the dining room down and keep the drive-through open only while they're redoing it, but they can keep the kitchen operating.
So during construction, the drive-through will be...
No, the drive-through will probably stay open throughout. Maybe a day or two they might close it, but for the most part they'll keep that running throughout. The dining room will shut down for probably about 2 weeks somewhere during construction while they redo that.
The new drive-through.
Dining room, yeah.
When's it scheduled to start?
Probably right now I'm going to say April, May.
Okay.
Typically we're going to try and get done before Memorial Day, because that's when we'll be able to pick up the business.
Change in exterior lighting, signage.
The dual drive-through is wider than what it is now? Or is it going to use the existing trash area and driveway?
A little bit of both, actually. We're gonna pull the trash trail right here is here now. So we're gonna kind of pull that away from the building and put the drive-through here and then add some, what's currently asphalt will become some landscape area.
So that little island where the signs are gonna, or the
Right here?
order, right here, yes, that whole area is gonna be basically the same width.
Yeah, this back line here, that doesn't go any further. That's exactly
Is there gonna be excavation into it?
beyond that point.
From where it is originally now to where your pen is there gonna be excavation into what's there now?
There'll be a slight adjustment to the curb line, but excavation, I wouldn't really say. No, the grade and everything stays pretty much as is.
So they put another kiosk in the center there. Right.
Well, there'll be
Yeah.
two new ones,
Yeah.
but yes,
Yeah.
as opposed to one, there'll be two other ones.
You mentioned that no real change in signage, but these are updated from what's already there, these,
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, well, yes. Said no operating signs. So he's gonna add some directional signs as you enter at the edge of his property. And, I think I'm showing the reserved drive-through in the mobile order. There's already reserved drive-through signage out there. There isn't mobile to go, but we're gonna add those signs out there as well.
It'll be all paved, right? The drive-through.
Oh, yeah.
Who's responsible for the paving from Delaware Avenue?
That's the plaza owner. You can see this line here is
Yes,
our
I have.
lease line.
Yes.
I don't have control over that. Although honestly, I'll probably end up fixing a little bit outside my lease line, just for grading of this, so I'll probably improve some of the pavement through here, but not much.
The exit and entrance.
It's outside our control.
Gonna put a little extra asphalt in the
Yeah, yeah.
That's the big milling machine. So, exterior lighting's all the same, not having any signs, more or less stays the same. Any comments, questions?
Looks great.
Nice little upgrade.
Yeah, a lot.
Yep.
Who owns that facility?
I tell you the truth, I don't know.
Okay, later. Thank you.
Andy, any comments, questions?
The dumpster storage facility,
The corral,
yeah,
yes.
the corral, it's walled in, it's covered.
That's right.
Okay,
Trex.
so there's no visual
Oh,
situation going on there.
Local, have they bid it out locally, or do they have their own crew come in?
typically, McDonald's has general contractors they work for, who know McDonald's, and then the GC does look local.
Sorry, what's the size of the lot again? Acreage wise, when you're redoing the outside area, you mentioned, sorry, it's a little, where's it going? Oh, okay, yeah, as far as disturbance goes with, construction, you guys aren't really even tearing a whole lot up, per se, right?
No, just the sidewalks and the concrete here and a little bit through there, I mean, 2,000 square feet.
Okay.
So you're putting in three new, or 388s?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right now, most of the sidewalks are 88 spaces, so it's current guidelines.
Curb cuts with a texture.
5% running slope, 2% cross slope, they have to be, otherwise they're not considered.
We're not doing anything with the water, sewer,
No.
underground electric?
No.
It's just staying as is in this topographic map?
Yep.
Okay, if you don't have any more questions, we'll do a quick review of the short and environmental assessment form. Should be pretty cut and dry, we don't have to do a whole lot. You guys can. They will have to finish last year, Board Engineering, their Steve Wilson. So we'll just run through the questions. Does the proposed action only involve the legislative adoption of a plan, local law, ordinance, administrative rule, or regulation? No. I'm losing my voice here. Does the proposed action require permit approval or funding from any other government agency? Yes. That would be a building permit. Total acreage is 0.886 acres. Total acreage to be physically disturbed, 0.52 acres. Check all land uses that occur on or are adjoining or near the proposed action. We have rural, we have commercial, we have residential. Is the proposed action a permitted use under the zoning regulations? Yes. Is the proposed action consistent with the predominant character of the existing built or natural landscape? Yes. Is the site of the proposed action located in or doesn't adjoin a state district critical environment area? No. Close, but most are. Will the proposed action result in a substantial increase in traffic above present levels? No. Are transportation services available at or near the site of proposed action? No. Any pedestrian accommodations or bicycle routes available or near the site of the proposed action? No. Does the proposed action meet or exceed the state energy code requirements? You put yes. The proposed action will exceed requirements to describe design features and technologies. Is that correct?
New windows will be put in the building, so it will be insulated, so it will be, it will,
Exceed the state energy?
I don't know about exceed, it will meet.
That's fine. Will the proposed action connect to an existing public-private water supply? Yes. Will the proposed action connect to the existing wastewater utilities? Yes. Does the project site contain or is it substantially contiguous to a building, archaeological site, or district which is listed in the National or State Register of Historic Places, or that has been determined by the Commissioner of the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation to be eligible for listing on the State Register of Historic Places? No. That's a lot for an answer, no.
Continue.
Is the project site or any portion of it located in or adjacent to an area designated as sensitive for archaeological sites on the New York State Historic Preservation Office SHPO Archaeological Site Inventory? Yes. Does any portion of the site of the proposed action or lands joined in the proposed action contain wetlands or other water bodies regulated by a federal, state, or local agency? Yes. Would the proposed action physically alter or encroach into an existing wetland or water body? No. 14, question 14, identify the typical habitat types that occur on or are likely to be found on the project site. Agricultural grasslands, suburban. Does the site of the proposed contain any species of animals or associated habits listed by the state or federal government as threatened or endangered? No. Is the project site located in a 100-year floodplain? No. Will the proposed action create stormwater discharge either from point or non-point sources? No. Will the stormwater discharge flow from adjacent properties? No. Will stormwater discharges be directed to established conveyance systems, runoff from storm drains? And yes, that would be the village water system. Does the proposed action include construction or other activities that would result in the impoundment of water or other liquids retention found away from the root dam? No. Has the site of the proposed action or adjoining property been the location of an active or closed solid waste management facility? No. And has decided the proposed action or an adjoining property been the subject of remediation and ongoing or phase of residence for? The answer is no. Any questions on the seeker, any comments, thoughts, ideas? Nothing? Well, I guess I'll make a motion to review, or to approve the site plan review for McDonald's remodel located at 41 Delaware Ave. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
A second. I'll make a motion to declare a negative declaration on the state environmental quality review for the McDonald's remodel located at 141 Delaware Ave, Sidney, New York. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Well, that's pretty much it.
Is that the vote?
What is the part?
They have a vote?
We have to do this one.
No, we have to do
We gotta
the
do
part
that.
2 impact.
Part
So,
two
we
and
still
part
gotta do that?
three.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was
Less,
basically some of
less
the
than
same.
the last one though, so that's,
Here, you wanna do it?
No, I don't. I ran the last meeting.
All right. Thank you so much. You teach me for missing a meeting. All
Want me to
right.
do it?
Huh?
Somebody 6
Want me to
months
read
ago.
it?
Yeah, can you? That's my voice.
You sound a little. All right, will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulations?
You got it?
Yep.
No, or yes? All right. Will the proposed action result in change in the use of or intensity of the use of land?
No.
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community?
Never.
Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of a critical environmental area?
No.
Will the proposed action result in the adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkways?
No.
Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy in it, and it fails to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities?
No.
Will the proposed action impact existing public-private water supplies? Public-private wastewater treatment utilities? Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historical, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources?
No.
Will the proposed action result in the adverse change to natural resources, wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, etc.? Will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems? And finally, will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health?
Nope. Let's eat too many hamburgers. Okay, I'll make a motion to declare a negative declaration on the state environmental quality review for McDonald's remodel located at 141 Delaware Ave. Do I have a second?
Second.
So, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. What else do we have for that?
No?
I think we're
Do
good.
you have to do a signature or something?
There's a part 3 here.
That's all, I have to sign off on that. That's, yeah.
yes.
I'll say.
Oh, this.
It's if any of these have.
Right.
Voted on the site plan?
Hmm?
Yep.
You voted on the site plan?
Yep.
Yes, we did.
That's pretty easy, huh?
You got
They have
any
one more.
One of the
We have
easier
one
ones?
more page.
What do we got?
We have one more page.
What's this for me?
Oh, he's got that, yeah.
Oh, the signature on the, part 3?
Yeah.
Yes. You might as
You have
well
that?
make sure it's official.
I don't like official.
I want to sign it right now, this minute.
Excuse
Right
me.
now.
If you so desire
Signature.
on the record as well.
So important.
I didn't catch all that.
Oh, as far as, the last portion of the site plan, if the board feels
Yeah.
it's desirable.
I can fill up a recipe.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, good luck, and glad to see
Thank
some
you.
improvement
Thanks.
over there.
Excellent presentation.
Thanks.
Where you driving
drive?
back to?
Albany.
Albany?
Oh,
Gee,
that'd
I
be a
just
fun ride.
drove there and back yesterday and today.
Gonna be foggy, drive slow.
Yes, I will.
Probably be icy before you get up there.
Good time, yeah.
You going back tonight?
And what do you do?
It'll be clear.
Let's hope.
The worst is tomorrow.
That's probably just rain all day.
A bit of sleep coming down, but not too bad.
It's just a good looking ride about Worcester area, I mean, the state should be ashamed of it. Okay, the next business agenda will be review last month's meeting notes.
Yes, sir?
You all have them?
Thanks much. Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Take care.
Take care.
Have a safe trip.
Thank you.
Somebody else make a motion?
Make a motion to accept the October 7, 2019 Sidney Planning Board meeting notes. Minutes.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. What else we got here? Any other business?
Question,
See if we can answer it.
if somebody has a two-family house and wants to change it into a four-family, that would have to be brought before the planning board?
Let's make sure it's not in R1.
What's that?
Make sure it's not in an R1
No, right, yeah,
It depends on the zoning.
in the zoning. Right.
sure.
I can't remember, years ago, we were trying to change the zoning so these big old single-family houses couldn't be made into 2 and 3 apartments, because that's where we ran into all the problems with the absentee landlords and no parking and all that.
We tried to reverse it so the new owner would have to bring it back to a 1.
But honestly, I don't remember where that stands, do you?
I can look it up.
Because we started it, and I had to go to the village board, and then there was near this after that.
Right.
The last zoning that I will, zoning changes that I have in our file is from 2007.
What is it?
2007?
Well,
There's a zoning
that's a real
board
long time ago.
meeting since I've worked here.
I was here, but
Well, that was when the last
Improvements.
local zoning laws were adopted.
is there anything
So
in there?
that could be an update or something, but,
Yeah, we'd have to go back and
yeah, it all,
research that a
it all
little bit.
depends on the zone.
That's it.
It all depends on what zone.
What
they're in.
zone,
Yeah,
yeah.
what it
Yeah.
is.
We
I
tried
know
to put a kibosh to it,
Right.
because, like I said, that's where we run into most of our problems.
Well, we don't have a house, there's a house on Smith Street, that was a two-family house. And they want to turn it into a four-family. And I don't see the parking.
Well, yeah, they gotta meet off-street parking, they gotta meet a few different codes, and we reach by our code officer and these guys.
But there was a landlord, I'm not gonna tell you where it is, but there was, well, I can think of 2 examples. I think they had maybe like 5 or 6 apartments in one of the Victorias. And we basically said, you can't do that because you don't have the parking for all those people. And then another one came in and said, I have no parking and I want to put parking between the sidewalk and the building. We're like, no. Well, where are my tenants gonna park? Your problem. So we're trying to close that gap.
Yeah, so, good.
Something to run by the code officer, and sat down and see him sometime, and, I'll let Andy go and research that, see if he can find anything that we did. Just, like I said, I went through, we started it, we rewrote it, we turned it over to the village board, they had to work with the village attorney, and I have a hard time remembering what I had for breakfast, so I can't remember what happened to it. It seems like it would've got.
I didn't know if
put
he had
through.
come before the planning board yet or not.
No,
No.
no.
Okay.
And sometimes, so typically how the process works, you go to the code officer first, and he determines, if it's within the laws, and then sometimes it doesn't come to the planning board if it's,
Didn't
significant.
get that far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he might authorize whatever it is that they're trying to do,
Yeah.
and it might not come here.
Okay.
But, so, I guess it all depends on where it is and what exactly they're trying to do.
Mhm.
You have anything? Nothing? I got a question, it's not related to the board, but what's Jabberwocker, and tell me about it.
Sidney Chatterbox?
Chatterbacks.
Chatterbacks,
Yeah.
okay.
I
I
am
don't know what he said.
informing people of the community of what's going on.
Oh, okay. I
Within
know
our
I was
community.
talking to the mayor, and they're talking about doing something on Facebook,
They just started.
calendar events, and then branching it out, so it becomes more than just the calendar events that, you know, we can,
A lot of people can't make it to the meetings, so I bring the meetings to them.
right,
Nice.
Makes it easier that way.
yeah.
Cool.
It's just keeping everybody in the loop.
So is it a website or is it on?
It's a Facebook site.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a media.
Cool.
Nice, nice. I'm glad to have you here.
Glad to be here. It's interesting.
Any other questions, comments? I talked with the mayor, and I might invite him to next month's meeting just to kind of give us a overview of things that are going on in the village, if you guys are interested.
You're getting a lot of questions regarding Kmart, who bought the building.
Yeah, I just talked to
Nothing's-
him. Right now, nothing's out for publicity, and I don't know if anything's even happened. They were gonna have I talked to them a couple of weeks ago, they were gonna have a conference call, but I don't believe anything turned out. If it is, it's not anything that they've released yet, but,
What about the old Bellevue building?
that's the Curtis Lumber, and they weren't gonna be in there till June because they had to do abatement, floor tile abatement, and they had a lot of work, and I guess what Andy told me, the mayor told me, was that they went out and hired Jimmy Wakeman, and they're gonna be in there a lot sooner than later, so
Great.
that's kinda good, and kinda nice they're fixing the building up and bringing it up to standards, and
Yeah, that's great.
that would be real good.
Business. We also discussed electronic signage.
Mm,
Maybe the next time one of us speaks to the mayor, we could, or bring it up to him at the meeting, but maybe he should be made aware of it.
Yeah, I don't know if that was brought up to the, after the last, meeting about that.
Right.
No, it isn't.
as far as future ads, and
Yeah, what the
Electronic
town
signage.
board is considering and what they might consider,
I know there's a,
or establish some sort of.
yeah, it's, you can get a lot of sound pollution if you're not careful, but, it's a tough one, and we'd have to write codes, because we probably don't really have codes that.
Deal
No.
with electronic sign. Well,
They didn't have them back then.
So, yeah, I know.
Signage.
Just like when we used to do satellite dishes, they were
Yep.
14 foot wide.
But I know Mr. Bagby was speaking about the library, was interested in a couple other places he
Yeah.
clearly
You know, and my,
knew on his radar, so.
my concern was, boy, you put all that right by the intersection, you might have problems, but you got Walgreens, I mean, you got them every place. I don't know if I agree with it, but it's something we should look at and decide what we think we should do with it.
Yeah, I would now, it's like, the use of flashing signs or signs in motion is prohibited except upon special permit.
So, well, I guess we can control it pretty good.
Yeah. But I guess the last time it was brought up, it was, trying to talk with the town board as far as
Right.
what are those parameters.
The town or the village?
I'm sorry, the village.
Village.
sorry.
No, I don't even know if they thought about it.
Yeah,
So, it's probably
I know a lot of fire departments are having trouble with the new LED lights because they can be so bright, and when they're on the main drag, they're
Yeah.
actually, like, New York, like DOT and the counties will actually go there and tell them that they have to have it at a certain level of
Dim it.
luminosity.
Yeah, we actually did that.
It's a hazard for
Yeah.
drivers or on bystanders or whatever.
When the credit union first put their side in, we had some stipulations that they had to chill out around 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, yep.
It couldn't be blaring all night long, and, we're not enforcement, we put the stipulations on there and hope they abide by it, and then if they don't, somebody complains, and that's the coal guy, but you could do that certainly on Main Street, say after 9 o'clock at night, they got a dim, or after 10 o'clock, and they can run, but and with today's technology, you can easily do that, I'm sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
But,
the newer signs you can dim
Yep.
to any amount.
Dim them, flash them,
Yeah.
speed.
the credit union wanted to play movies on there, like Hometown Coming Parade and stuff, and they said, that's really gonna get the attention of people driving through there, so, so we said, don't play movies, you can do your advertising, but don't play movies on the thing.
And no,
You can
nothing
pretty
dealing
much
with
do
the
anything
community,
with
just
LEDs.
business.
Yeah, so, you do have to be careful.
One thing at the county level, we're